Very interesting question. My children, I moved to South Orange, to the South Orange-Maplewood School District, probably in 1985. I was a nurse in a hospital in Newark, and I worked in the ER, and I worked in neonatal intensive care. And my husband traveled quite a bit, and babysitting was becoming very difficult. My mom became ill, and someone told me about school nursing, and I thought, school nursing? Are you kidding? But I thought I'd try it, and I worked in Newark for about 2 years, and then an opening occurred here in the South Orange-Maplewood School District, so I went for it. Yeah, so I've been here for 30 years. I've worked at a school as a school nurse for 32 years, and my years in nursing is really 38 years. What gets me up in the morning? Working with the children, coming in and taking my coat off and going into the classrooms and teaching them all about health. As for school nurses, it's getting more and more difficult getting out of your office and going into a classroom to teach, because the constant flow of kids that come into you, plus the other demands, state demands, reports that we have to get done, and we take care of the entire population. So we have our teachers, we have our staff members that we care for, and our job is just increasingly growing. And just seeing the kids interact, they're funny. The things that they say make you laugh. There's always a little story that you kind of keep and say, I'm going to write that one down. And I just enjoy what I do. I do. It is very busy. It is exciting, and it's really a joy. Because I told you I live in South Orange, and I see a lot of my students around town. I used to work in the adult school program, so a lot of the yellow shirts were students here at Marshall School. My kids were educated here also, so I had the opportunity to, see a lot of the kids as they grew up. And so it's hectic. It's, as I said, it's enjoyable, and it's just the best job ever. So they have been wonderful. They have been absolutely wonderful. I never thought that I would have enjoyed school nursing like I did, in the other areas that I worked in. I did not start out working with children. I thought I was going to be an adult care nurse, and when I was in the emergency room, all of a sudden I was working in the peds ER more nights than I did the adult, and then I ended up in neonatology, and then the transition into school nursing. I have had a ball. And my husband will tell all of his friends and co-workers that my wife really enjoys her job, and I do. I am now the oldest person in this building, which is very interesting because when I landed here, that was not the case. I was one of the youngest. My colleagues are all wonderful. I enjoy, building relationships with them. I get along with everyone, from the custodians to the lunch monitors to aftercare program. It's a community in order to care for these children, and everyone has been wonderful. Well, I would say to a new school nurse, get into the hospital first, build that foundation, your medical surgical experience, build the foundation, because once you are now into the school, you rely on a lot of the things that you have learned. In a case of an emergency, you know how to handle yourself. You're here by yourself. You are really the leader in terms of emergency care and medical care in your building. It can be just as stressful, not as stressful as working in the hospital, but it can be, because you're pulled in so many different directions, and people will call you and they expect you to, to know things, and you got to be ready. Also be ready, no lunch. Most of us here kind of go through the day on water and a snack, and we keep moving. And so you have to learn how to take care of yourself also. I have done it up until maybe a year or so. I was here pretty late. It was me and the custodians, working, and so you have to have a good work-life balance also, because there's so much to do. So I'm just enjoying every minute.